remember the Dyson ball?
Yeah, man.
As
the
a
ball
kid, that
must
was,
still be going, or is it all just the V6,
I
V8,
think it's all the
V10?
V's now, yeah. But that was so exciting at the time.
I mean, back then,
Big old ball.
if you had a Dyson ball, you were the shit. If I went round to your house and your parents had the Dyson ball, sheesh.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the View from the Afternoon.
Hello again.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
It sure has, mate.
Hey, the worst thing happened.
What?
I've got here.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no.
Right.
I'm wearing the same t-shirt,
Silly.
pants, socks,
See, I got
jeans.
changed. I'm
It was
wearing
last week.
So I'm wearing a polo shirt. I never wear polo shirts. I think they're quite stylish polo shirts, but
You're bringing them back?
They just don't really speak to me on a fashion level. It's not really my kind of vibe. But the first thing into fashion where I was like, I am into this.
Yeah.
Was Fred Perry polos.
It was
when I was
God, that's
very
a
young.
blast from the
And I got this
past.
Fred Perry polo, my first one,
Yeah.
for my 19th birthday from my mum.
You've still got that?
Yep.
I mean, obviously, because I can see it. But
And I,
that's wild.
do you know what? The boys from Manchester,
Yeah.
Dave, and Chris, came up for my birthday to Leeds, and I rocked this, and it was 55 squids from Debenhams, which is a tall order, and certainly was back
It's
then.
outlasted the shop.
It has, and thanks, Mum, because I mean, it's not still going. The reason it's out is because
Does she listen?
unlikely. But I had some electrical issues in my bedroom because I've got like 6 daisy-chained power extensions, and one of them's in like my clothes drawer, which is a real fire hazard. But this is like the clothes drawer of like the archive. And anyway, I found this.
Yeah.
I thought I'll sling it on today for no reason.
Oh, do you know what you just reminded me of that cool story?
What?
I need to sort of parking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you do that, and I'll tell you another cool story. So I just got off a flight with Bring Me the Horizon.
With?
Well, so
What? How do I extend this?
so I'm boarding the jet with the gang, just
Yeah.
leaving Madrid, feeling like ass.
Yeah.
And I see this guy who looks like Oli Sykes. But the thing with someone like Oli Sykes is I'm so used to seeing him like on a screen, on a stage, that I almost barely recognize this person in real life. And I thought, this guy looks like he's trying to be Oli Sykes. And then I look next to him and there's Lee, the guitarist.
This guy looks like he's trying to be Lee.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, they're flying back to Manny before they head out to like Tunisia or something on Friday for a show. And I was like, you know, I'm fairly confident in those kind of interactions. I was like, I'm definitely going to say hello. So they obviously we're flying not flying economy, but not flying private.
Yeah.
I'm flying economy.
Yeah.
But they're on the jet, but it's
commercial
they're flying commercial.
Yeah.
Is that the right?
It is commercial.
They're not
Yeah,
flying
it is commercial.
logistics. Anyway, my point is they're in the best seats on the plane.
Yeah.
So they're on row 1.
On the pilot's lap.
Literally couldn't be closer to the cockpit.
Yeah.
And we're literally on the back of the plane. But I was like,
With the bags.
they'll be sat there. Hopefully, as I walk past, I can say, what up? Good show last night.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't that good of a show. Because not their fault. The religious festival made them not play any songs with anti-religion message.
Interesting.
Yeah, they were really pissed off.
Right, I can imagine.
So I get on, and just as I'm walking to Ollie, which is my direction anyway, he starts like faffing about with his wife, moving seats and stuff. So I clock Lee, because I respect Lee massively. He's the guitarist, and he's someone who just strikes me as incredibly true to himself. The lad, and I mean this in a respectful way, he's not changed since Bring Me the Horizon started. He looks the same.
Nice.
He acts the same from what I've seen. So I was like, oh, good to see you last night. I was like, oh, cheers, mate. It's wearing England top. Oh, that's cool. As I'm getting off the plane and just walking out of the airport, Ollie's just there. And I just did this thing. And it, because I mean, you know what? I really rate Bring Me the Horizon, of course. And I just went like this. I just went, as I'm walking out with my shades on, and he just went, And it just felt really cool.
Oh my God.
And the listeners can imagine that. But it just felt really cool.
But so what? I mean, what would you call that? Like a almost a gun, like finger point.
Make no mistake, like I am a fan of his.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to interact with him in a way that's not bothering him when he's just got off the plane. We're all tired. He's just played a show.
It was,
and it also, I imagine it kind of made him guess a little bit. Who is that guy? Like, because it was such a nonchalant and like overly cool wave, and I had my shades on, and like
that's amazing.
When we roll as a group, particularly with Val's there and Dan, people always think we're a band, and you know, just giving him like the little thing. We both come off the same plane from the same place, and it was just really funny. I was just like, really? That was a good move there, Rob.
Yeah.
He was eating some salt and vinegars. I'll tell you what is annoying that I forgot.
Go on.
As I said to Lee when I was getting on the plane, like, oh, good to see you, nice show.
Yeah.
Dan freezes.
Right.
Because I think I'm quite good in scenarios like that.
Yeah.
I
think so.
Confident. Even if I don't, even if I'm not confident, I can
you can blag it, yeah.
But Dan and Mary, not good in those scenarios. Like I usually have to.
I'm very
and
similar.
I get it. Like I had to physically introduce Mary to the 1975 guy at Transmit because she couldn't go over to him. I was like, it's fine.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I said like whatever to Lee as I'm getting on. Dan just goes, get out of his arse. And then Dan was like, I'm really sorry. I'm like, I didn't know what to say. You just threw me under the bus. I think Dan was embarrassed because he was wearing a drop dead shirt. But that was really cool, and it made my day. I was feeling like shit, and it made my day. That cool little interaction with a couple of people I admire significantly.
And I think as well, like, what a great way to interact. That's a nice little moment. You know, how can I get a selfie? Like, that's the one thing you hear, you know, as a man who listens to a lot of podcasts, one thing you hear a lot from these celebs is people who just go up and just ask for a selfie like you're a piece of meat.
The thing is,
you didn't do that.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
And
you're just like the rest of them.
With someone like Oli, I feel like I've got enough to talk to him about where I would have a 1 minute chat with him. We've talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Have a 1 or 2 minute chat with him. Make sure he's respectful of his space and his mindset. But so he knows that like I'm the real deal in terms of I respect your band. I've seen you all over the world. We're from the same place. We've got some mutual friends. I'm a nobody, of course, but you know we have
got a minor in life.
You know we've been in the same room many times.
Yeah.
Then I'd be like, do you mind if we get a snap?
Yeah. Lead up to it.
But like with Matty Healy, someone who was being like walked from A to B. I mean, I could speak to him all day, but I just had to be like, can I just have a picture?
To be fair, I get that. Like, if that's the only opportunity you have.
We're in this weird space now where, I mean, we get asked for pictures all the time and it doesn't get old. But but what is really difficult about it is like, what am I going to do in this picture? Because I always would go for the peace sign.
Yeah.
But now Jake goes for the peace sign.
Does he?
Yeah, he does.
That's interesting.
And so I'll do the peace sign. Jake will do the peace sign. And then I'm like, I need to do something else. What are we, the Peace Crew? Fucking the Beatles. What am I, Ringo Starr? So there's one picture I got with this lovely girl, I think at Outbreak, and I'm just doing a thumbs up because like it's a race against the shutter button to change from what Valley's doing.
You know, it's something that continues to not shock me, but I continue to be unprepared for because one, I don't like having a picture taken anyway. Like I'm like even at like family events and stuff, I was always the kid where everyone's like, "Oh, just smile, just smile." I don't know how to smile.
I've got nothing to smile about.
Yeah, in this economy, they're like 6 years old. So I've always struggled with like pictures, and then being thrust into this now with pictures with randomers. I never know what to do. I do the big, like fit, like not fit. It's not fit, but like the big over exaggerated, like grin. Because it's all I don't know what to do because I don't want to smile my teeth because it makes me feel weird, and I think I look weird, and I don't want to do a peace sign. Because heaven forbid there's three of us. And then I'm just like, what's left? You know, maybe I'll start carrying like a sticker ram with me or something.
It's so normal to overthink that because it's not,
isn't it?
It's not something that most people would ever get
the person taking the selfie or whatever is like more natural than me.
Yeah,
I'm like,
for sure.
No, I want to be the center of attention.
Do me a favor, crop yourself out on that before you
Yeah, it's
upload
my
it.
picture. But yeah, it's interesting. I really I'll work on that. Need like a group activity.
You get into the swing of it. It's just the clashing now of the signage, which obviously doesn't matter at all. Like they're not going to get that picture and be like, "Fuck's sake, both of them doing peace sign." Sometimes I will do the horns, but I think the horns are a bit cringe. Like, I mean, I'm a firm believer. I like the horns up here,
Yeah.
but I think that's a bit triad sometimes. So then the horns there, it looks a bit Android user. The peace sign's good. The swearing's a bit Android user.
See, Leeds Fest and Leeds and Reading are sponsored by Android.
No, they're not.
Yeah, look at the lineup post. Well, it was on like the website or something.
No
I
way.
saw. Let me double check this. I swear I saw.
Reading and Leeds. They're sponsored by Rockstar.
Oh no, but I mean, well, I say sponsored. Like I was looking today at the lineup. Where is it?
I'm looking
Partners. Sorry, Android is a partner, and I'm just wondering, like, what does that entail? What does that mean?
I mean, you picked the wrong fest there, guys. There's going to be so few Android users at that event.
But how? What does that like? First of all, why does Android need to advertise? I don't really get that, because it's just an OS in a phone, and you don't like buy Android like you buy Windows. You buy a phone with Android.
You buy a Samsung.
Yeah, and then like you've got like Co-op, Mackie D's, 3 I could get for the data or whatever, 4 Loco, Android.
That is wild. I didn't know about that.
It's weird, though, isn't it?
I'll see if I can find out a bit about that.
And then, yeah, anyway.
Because again, if it was a manufacturer, it would make sense because you'd have maybe a Samsung concessions and it's showing you like the AI and stuff. But with the base operating system of Android, because it's not Pixel, it's just Android. I don't get it.
It's weird, that, I know.
Yeah.
Like it's like, I can't even think what it's like.
I'd love to know, guys, if anyone's got any ideas.
Yeah, so I got a new washing machine because mine broke. And I actually brought the user manual with me.
Great.
Thanks. And the reason why I did was because I've never bought like an appliance ever. So I was like, right, I need a new washing machine. What do I need? And
How much does a washing machine go for?
So this one was £500.
Oh my God.
It's quite, but apparently that's quite low ends. Like, of course, you can get like cheaper.
I remember working at Curry's. We'd have some for like less than 150.
So here's the thing, right? There's a few features I wanted. Iron fast technology, which is basically the drum.
Sounds like something one of our sponsors has wanted to read. Like,
does it?
Well, when you're doing an ad read, you've got to say it's got like, and they've just come up with like a compound
just a word
with camel case. It's like, oh, this one's it's got fizz smooth tech in this bottle of Schlo that I'm drinking.
Here's something I fall for. Like, not anymore, but I used to fall for. Is like exactly that, where some feature or something would be like a word, but then when you Google that and Google like what it is, it's just like a function. So as an example, when I got my Audi A3, I remember being impressed by, I remember reading the specs and being like, oh, this is cool. One of the things was like, like a I don't know, not firm, but it just said some bullshit like something 4-spoke steering wheel. Oh, that's cool. It's got a 4-spoke. Great.
Yeah.
I then learned, like, I don't know, months later, years later, whatever, that actually the 3-spoke or the 2-spoke is more coveted. But also, I like reflected internally, and I was like, it's just like saying, it's just a 4-spoke. It's just saying what it is. It's not like impressive, but I fell for the marketing.
I struggle to think of many cars that wouldn't have.
I know, but I was
3 or 4-spoke, but mainly a 4-spoke. Yeah,
it's the basic.
A 2-spoke would typically be a more performance or a race car or an aftermarket wheel. Yeah, it's just saying what it is.
I was a different guy.
We had this. There was one that HP had.
Car.
HP were like just shitty marketing words.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Apple's like one of the worst for it, but at least their
Absolutely.
stuff is a thing, like a technology like AirDrop or a MagSafe or a fine woven, whatever.
Yeah.
But like HP would do them all the time, and it's just 2 words put together with the camel cased. And there was one for like the hard drive can detect like a drop, and it will like seize up the platter. So when the machine
Love
drops
that.
on a
That's
laptop,
smart. Yeah,
it's cool. But that's not an HP technology.
No.
It's just built into like a Western Digital 2.5-inch drive.
Yeah.
I remember doing the demos. I'd go like, so this is your HP Pavilion,
Yeah.
always on sale, $399, 8 gig RAM,
I used to have a
i5,
Pavilion.
terabyte, pieces of shite, mate.
Yeah.
But the demo would be like, I'm telling the family about this machine, and it had a little LED on the side, and I'd go and watch this, and I'd drop it like just into my hands, like, and it'd go red, and I'd go, that's the, whatever it's called, technology, blah, 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 blah.
Wow. I can't remember the name though, so the marketing can be that good.
What's that called, man?
HP
HP were really bad for
like
just
drop safe,
lying about shit as well. Like, remember when you used to look at HP and they'd have like a Beats by Dre or a Bang & Olufsen, and it literally doesn't mean fucking anything aside from the software equalizer has been designed with their skin.
Do you know what? It's mental. Like when you look into a lot of these, what they're called? Oh my God, what they're called? Collaborations, and it is just changing the equalizer. Like there's not actually any sort of profound tech in there to make it better.
Yeah,
it's just shocking.
It's like if you're shopping for like a mid to high end car, then your sound system might be designed by like a Bowers and Wilkins, and that means something. Yes. They've worked with the manufacturer.
Yeah, gone in.
Volkswagen did a run of Polos with Fender, which was really cool, and you would get a guitar with your car when bought new, and the guitar plugs into the car. But shit like that.
That'd be awkward on stage, wouldn't it? Yeah.
But yeah, shit like that, and people eat it up, man.
Yeah, they do.
People eat it up. What is that fucking hard drive technology called, man? Someone comment.
What is that called? So the reason why I wanted to bring up the washing machine is because I was looking at the manual, because I just wanted to look at all the functionality. So I looked at the steam thing, which I can't. So it can put steam through the drum now. Blows my mind. And it's Wi-Fi connected. I didn't buy it because it was Wi-Fi connected.
Internet of Things.
It just so happened to be on the
What
internet.
Is it? 802.11 AC.
I don't know.
Comment down below, guys.
Comment down below. That is that. But anyway, so I've read the full manual because I'm a loser. I was literally just. I'm not even ashamed to admit it. So I plugged it in. It's just two things: the cold water feed and the drainage, right? So I sorted all that out, and I just turned it on, and I just sat there on my kitchen floor reading this at all the functions.
But the thing is, mate,
and I had a great time.
If I've spent 500 quid on it, I'm gonna
absolutely.
And we were talking about this.
For the warranty.
We were talking about this. How long's the warranty on that? 5 years?
10 years, mate.
Yeah, it's good. That
well long.
Where did you buy it?
Hey.
So
let's go.
When you buy something from AO, they'll try and sell you a warranty.
Yes, I know this.
And if they sell you a warranty, or if one of their sales representatives sells you a warranty, that's like a big gold star for them.
How do you know this?
Because it's the same at Curry's. It's the same at John Lewis. But if you sell a machine like that has a 10-year warranty, you can sell your additional retailer warranty on it. But even if you don't, that's still like a big gold star for you. That still counts.
How does that work?
So it's called an auto strike, or that's what we called it at Curry's. And
you'd get it on Curry's don't get anything for that. Or...
No, they don't, I guess. But their system,
interesting,
or maybe they have an incentive with Samsung,
or
Beko in this case. But we said on a podcast a bit ago, I said, about needing a Dyson.
Yes,
I was like, I would buy a Dyson, because then every time I do that menial task, I'm going to be out of pocket. But in the lot over 10 years, 50 quid a year.
Apparently they're not. So I would also like a new Hoover. I've got a Vax which I've just knackered up. So I did some Googling. Of course, there's a Reddit community.
Oh, nice.
/ vacuum cleaners. So I was checking that out the other day. Apparently, meal on, I don't know how you say it.
I know.
Apparently they're like the best ones. But within that, because obviously you get a vast array of vacuum. God, this is deep now. We're in the weeds now, mate. Apparently bagged is the way to go. And it's the ones like, the ones you just drag around and corded. Apparently they're like, if you want ultimate
suction,
performance suction, they're the best ones. And that Meal brand, the Meal C3, apparently. Meal, if you're listening, I'd happily listen. They can be sponsored by.
Have you heard they've got new Suck Strong technology in there?
Yeah, but apparently the ones, and apparently like Dyson and just generally cordless, bagless cordless, are apparently not.
They're
the
just
best.
the it product.
They're
Though.
just
That's
the
the
it
thing.
product because they're probably the most convenient, but
Absolutely.
they don't last the longest and they're not the most.
I totally get
They're
that.
not the suckiest.
If I was gonna get one, I wanted to last the longest and perform the best.
Yeah.
I would probably get a pneumatic, a Henry.
Would you?
Well, there's a reason that they're the industry
Yeah,
standard in
they
that
are,
in that
aren't they?
thing because, but if I want my flat to look modern and want to really enjoy using what I buy, I will buy a Dyson. I mean, I haven't because I can't afford one.
Do you know what? I'd compromise on a Shark.
Shark's really good.
Shark look great. Shark do one. Man, vacuum technology has really come a long way, man. It like docks. It like splits. So it's like a upright one, like the you do this. Cord, I think I'd compromise on the corded because I'd want the power. Because my vacs, the battery goes in it too quick. So you do that, but then if you want to do your stairs, it just it just pulls out. So it's almost like the full unit is like just the head, but it looks like
I get you.
Do you remember the Dyson ball?
Yeah, man.
As
the
a
ball
kid,
must still be going, or is it all just the V6,
I
V8,
think it's all
V10?
the V's now, yeah. But that was so exciting at the time.
I mean, back then,
Big old ball.
if you had a Dyson ball, you were the shit. If I went round to your house and your parents had the Dyson ball, sheesh.
My grandma had the first Dyson.
Really?
Big boy.
Yeah.
Yellow and grey.
Yeah, yellow and grey.
God.
We went to Festa
I used to love
a
that.
couple of weeks ago, Mad Cool. And one of its headline sponsors was Dyson. And what I thought was really funny is there's a big Dyson stand, and obviously it's fucking red hot in Madrid, mate. It's like 35, 36 degrees. So there was loads of fans cooling it. None of them were Dyson. They were all just standard fans.
Standard fans, yeah, because the Dysons, like, I don't think you can. To be fair, what was it in? Was it a big space?
Yeah. I understand why they weren't Dyson.
Because you need about £1 million
funny.
to do it. They're that expensive, aren't they?
Yeah.
Apparently he's a knobhead.
James
apparently.
Dyson.
Well, he's just like bad for because he like. I think he was like, well, we'll talk about that, but apparently he took loads of business out of the UK, but now he's wanting to bring it back in. But it's all just a bit like shitty. I don't really know.
Well, I don't know about
what I've done there is I've just said something I know nothing about.
Yeah.
For the world to listen to.
But Dyson is a cool company. Like if I'm a sucker for shit like that. Like
yeah,
if I had
If
I had the cash, everything in my kitchen would be Smeg. Everything in
brand,
my
nice
hair
fridges.
care world and anything Dyson I could get my hands on, I would get Dyson. Everything I use technology wise is Apple. I just love good design. That's what it comes down to. Like I don't want form over function, but if I can get like a lovely design, a really smart design, really well designed product that also does what I want it to do.
I really like. I think Samsung in the past, I don't know what we're going to say, like 3, 4, 5 years, design wise, are looking really nice. Like their tablet.
Yeah, I agree, man.
Their tablet's beaut, but I'd never use it. They actually do I think they do like an ultra wide screen Samsung. I think it's like G3 or something.
Oh, a monitor.
Yeah,
it's super wide, like mega.
I'd love one. It looks great.
I'm going to invest.
Really good design language.
In the off season, I'm going to buy like a nice setup with a decent display. I think I'll go LG.
You still edit on laptop, don't you?
Yeah, and I will.
Mental.
It's the best thing I own is my laptop. But
no, but are you going to dock it?
I will. Yeah, I'll hot desk it.
Yeah.
Standing desk over there. Thanks, Flexi Spot. That one. The little shout out there. Yeah,
that'd be nice.
The Samsung foldables, man. I love them.
Yeah.
Whenever I meet a fan of ours who's got a fold or a flip, I'm like, can I have a quick go on your phone? And they always say, yeah. And
when you see them, like obviously now, what's great to like judge the sort of proliferation of mobile devices when you stood at a festival and the phones are up and you're just like, oh, iPhones, and you see them with full folded out square.
Yeah.
That's a man of taste.
The new ones that they literally announced yesterday or the day before.
I've not seen them.
They're great. And also there's a new Moto Razr, which is so gorgeous, man. And I wish I could have two phones. It just don't make sense because I don't deal.
What's a shame as well is like there's no, like I could flash this with Linux. There's probably a way for me to. I mean, I probably couldn't. I couldn't flash it with OS X, but I reckon you could do it the other way, couldn't you? With Wine or whatever it is.
Yeah,
but there's this like you can do whatever because it's just hardware. But with a device, I don't know. It's certainly beyond my scope to
Mm.
want to do that.
I've got loads of
Interesting.
nerdy shit to talk about, but
Yeah.
I don't want to just settle on that.
Anyway, back to this washing machine. So the reason why I
Yeah.
brought it up is because in the back it's got loads of stuff about like an FAQ. Like if this thing is
Right, yeah,
this
yeah.
is the answer. So listen to this, right? This is what. So I got to this page, right at the back, and as soon as I read this, I was like, I'm going to talk about this on the podcast. So here's the first thing it says: water inside the product.
Congratulations, your product is working.
Your clothes are clean. Some water has remained in the product due to the quality control processes in the production. This is not a failure. Water is not harmful to the product. Someone wrote that.
The thing is, someone wrote that for a reason.
That's what I thought. It's thicker.
You ever see the email to Steve Jobs that a MacBook Pro user sent?
No. Is it long?
No.
Is it worth looking now?
Yeah, I could tell you.
Yeah, go on.
So what real Karens like to do when they're having an issue is email the CEO of a company.
Yeah, because they put the email out there, don't they?
And I've emailed Tim Cook a couple of times.
Yeah.
I've not got a response from him, but I have had a response from high-level executives, but only with praise would I reach out to them because I wouldn't want to get anyone ever into trouble.
No.
But anyway, Steve used to be quite famous for responding to emails in his typical rock and roll way. And someone had water damaged their 4 or 5 grand MacBook Pro and emailed Steve saying like, I don't think this is very good. Like, and I've gone into your store and they're not very helpful, blah, 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 blah. Like, I've been an Apple user for this long. And Steve just replied like, they are pro products. They're not designed to work with water. Water will damage these products. It sounds like you're just trying to get mad at someone other than yourself. And that's the email he sent.
Fair.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah. I think we've
And
all
in any other
there.
position, you're not allowed to say that.
I kind of hate that. It's tough in it because I do understand it's risky giving your store operatives that leeway, I reckon. Because I reckon you will have someone who's maybe a dick or having a bad day. And you could have a customer with a legit complaint. And you're opening up the gates then to maybe deny them service. But on the other hand, sometimes you just need telling. It's like
You've spilt water on your computer and they'll have gone into a store.
I killed a keyboard.
I mean,
once.
my MacBook Pro got sabotaged by someone.
Yeah.
Poured full of water.
Straight on the phone to Steve.
I took it to my store.
Yeah.
Where I worked at the time.
Mm.
And I was quoted astronomical repair cost because that's how much it costs to replace an entire logic board of a MacBook Pro. I couldn't afford it. That will have been this guy's same experience.
Yeah.
You spend 5 grand on a machine, you've not got it insured. Your repair cost is going to be high.
How do you reckon? How do you reckon he saw that going? I've already shipped you 5 out, mate. Listen,
Well, I guess you never know, do you?
never know.
You miss every shot you don't take.
I do think it's interesting when you see like these CEO emails dotted about, and obviously, well, I would assume it's not them answering it or even looking at it.
It will be.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
But I just think the influx.
No, but you will pick some up. It will be. I read a thread on Twitter of famous examples of this, and I'm certain it is.
God, it's like me with emails from podcast@tpd.tv.
Have we got any emails to
Yeah.
podcast@tpd.tv?
We have got some emails from podcast.
What a great time maybe
tpd.tv
to read one of those.
I think we should actually. I was gonna bring it up. So there's a few. So there's one I wanted to. I might just send you this, but I did wanted to acknowledge it on the pod. So we got an email from Matthew. So Matthew starts with,
Hi Matthew, thanks for sending an email in to podcast at tpd.tv.
Podcast@tpd.tv. So hi TPD, long-time viewer here. I felt compelled to reach out. I am off social media, but wanted to send a more personal message to support all of you, especially Rob, in relation to the negative fan interaction. And he just basically goes, I've thoroughly enjoyed the amazing rise in popularity of the channel. Every ounce of success is absolutely deserved. It's plain to see a massive amount of hard work and sacrifice goes into all the videos. And And yeah, it's just really nice. He goes,
That is very nice.
The
Thanks,
videos,
Matthew.
the videos you have made got me and many others through the pandemic, many of the low points. And for that, I would like to extend my sincerest thanks. I now realize this might come across as self-congratulatory. It isn't. I just wanted to publicly acknowledge Matthew sent a lovely email, and I will send this on to you, mate. It's quite nice.
Thanks, Matthew. That
So
really
thank you
does,
for that, mate. I really
mean
appreciate
the
that.
world. I feel great for transparency. I feel validated at the minute, and some really nice people reached out to me after I spoke about those negative comments. I mean, there's one right there. But some people who also might be in similar situations where they meet fans, some people that I admire. And I won't go into who those people were, but I got some great messages of support from some people, a damn sight more popular than me.
That's cool.
And
Nice.
I feel great.
It's really,
So thank you everyone for your kind words and your kind comments.
It's worth saying that, there is a lot of love out there. And I think
there's a 99%.
Yeah, admittedly, I've not been very good at it the past week, but I try to respond to people in the comments of the podcast and stuff, because there's a lot of nice people.
It's big work is replying to comments, mate.
Yeah,
it really is a lot of work,
especially when I'm going to drink my tea.
Yeah, especially when your power supply explodes.
Yeah.
Replying to comments I do it as a break. So a break in between editing, I'll put an album on, but it'll take me a few albums worth of albums to I don't know what the right a few albums worth of songs to reply to them all, and they've taken the time to comment. I want to take the time to reply.
That's what I think.
But it does sometimes feel a bit just like a checkbox exercise.
Do you know?
And when it gets to that point, that's when I stop and I'll go back to editing, or maybe look out of the window for 5 minutes and then go back to it.
Yeah, I always there's been times where I've wanted to reply, and it's like I feel like I've not got anything of substance, and I don't just want to be like, whatever. So we got another email from Chris, a bit longer.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for sending an email in.
I like this.
Yeah, me too.
Just like personal acknowledgement, little digital handshake. Like an encryption key.
Yeah, it is. I was just thinking, we need to stop talking about nerdy shit. You need to get Dan on one of these.
It's just us two.
You need to get Dan on one of these.
This is what people want. So Chris emailed in a few days ago. Hi guys.
Hi Chris.
It's just me and Rob. I guess we are guys, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Hope you are well. Guys. We are, Chris. We are well. Thanks for asking. I've just been listening to the Outbreak podcast and thought I'd share my story about meeting a musical idol of mine. I was in Newcastle working at an event, walking around the city centre with a placard advertising the event. I made my way down towards the Haymarket near the bus station, and this man passed me. We both gave each other a look of, I know who you are. You know who I am. It was a weird moment because I didn't want to harass someone who may or may not have been Frank Turner. So I walked back to the event at the Civic Centre and speak with my wife. Can you just check something?
My wife?
I have a chair. So now I'm going to pretend to be Chris now. Can you just check something? Can you tell me if Frank Turner is playing in Newcastle tonight or tomorrow? Chris. Says he paused for dramatic effect. So everyone pause the podcast. Yeah, he's playing tomorrow night.
So that was him in the street?
Oh, we don't know. At that point, I thought I'd lost my chance to meet one of my favourite artists and was kind of deflated. My wife then encouraged me to go back out and just see on the off chance. You see him again. I think you've mistyped there, Chris. But
God, Chris.
Come on, mate. I go out. I walk back in the opposite direction. I saw him the first time. And what do you know? He's on the opposite side of the street. I beeline it over and I say, Frank Turner.
Great opener.
I mean, listen. Yeah. Just wanted to say I love your music and it's a big part of my life, blah, blah, blah. Did you really say blah, blah, blah to Frank Turner? Frank goes, thank you so much. And then Chris goes, I wish I'd have said something better, but all right, sorry. I wish I'd said something better. But then Chris goes, I have something to show you. Frank then kind of steps back at this point, not knowing what to expect.
Tattoo.
And I showed him the tattoos of his album work on my calf. And then Frank goes, oh man, that's amazing. He gave me a hug and we have a conversation about what I was doing with the big placard and the event that was going on and he was genuinely engaged and interested about what the event was. He then explains that he has some stuff to do and will pop down if he has time later on. I'm over the moon. I come flying back to the event after placarding a bit more in the Haymarket and just info dump about the interaction to my wife and colleagues at the event. Just a lovely interaction that we had. I didn't ask for a photo. I just wanted to say I was a fan and enjoyed his music. I didn't really fangirl, so to speak, in front of him. I was kind of proud about that.
Yeah, good move.
As the day goes on...
Hang on a minute.
Oh, wait a minute.
Cheeky Frank's not going to pop up at this mysterious event. I know Cheeky Frank's. He's a nice guy. He's not going to pop up at this event.
Frank...
He said he might, but...
He said he had stuff to do.
And he's a busy man. He's the busiest in the industry.
Frank Turner, he says to me, I've got stuff to do. I'm not seeing him for a week. He's doing stuff.
Minimum.
If I say I've got stuff to do...
The last thing I'm doing is going to an event like that.
The last thing I'm doing. As the day goes on.
Okay, I'm listening.
And the event starts to wind down.
Wind down, yeah. Get it closed. Should we close it early, guys?
Hey, come on, lights are burning.
Get those
Come
doors
on,
closed.
gotta catch a train tomorrow.
Wait, there's one more person here. Who's this?
Who's this?
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
He comes through the door and comes to you. Well, does he come through the... Well, he comes through the door and then comes to the event. It's really poor word in that.
Hey, listen.
We've all got our hobbies,
needs
haven't we?
to come sometime.
We've all got our vices. He comes through the door and comes to the event. We have a quick chat again, and he pays his entry. Hey, good on him. Pays his entry fee. Nothing in life's free.
Could you imagine him not being willing to pay the entry
What, just walking in going like this?
Hello.
No.
Like, could you imagine ever like not? Because that's the thing
move,
where
though,
like.
wasn't it?
So if I seen that with like M Shadows, I would say the same. I'd be like, oh, and he paid his way. But like, could you imagine him not?
It says more about us that we're like...
That we expect
that we're
them
like,
to
oh,
not.
no,
He wouldn't have dreamt of not paying his fee.
We're giving them the power.
We really
We need
are.
to really rise up against this. So anyway, pays his entry fee and goes in to have a look. He has a walk around, buys a few things, and then comes back out and we chat again. And I've played it so cool. I love how Chris is like picking himself up.
That's what it's all about, Chris.
Cool.
That is what it's all about, my man.
Never show them your fear, man.
True.
That's what I say. My wife, who is also a fan, comes bounding over. Here we go. Wife ruining the cool streak. That's me talking. That's not Chris.
Yeah.
Chris would never insult his
Chris
wife.
is cool. We've
Chris is
learned
very
this
cool.
about Chris. I like Chris.
Oh my God, we had your song on at our wedding. He smiles and says, would you like a photo? This is interesting because we've discussed this as well.
Yeah.
You got to be confident to say that. I wouldn't dream of
I
saying,
guess
"Would you
when
like a
Chris has
photo?"
got the tattoos and you've had the song at the
That's
wedding.
your green flag, innit?
But I'd still be apprehensive to ever ask someone.
I'd be
if they want a
thinking I'd
photo
be
with
needing
me.
2 forms of authentication.
Yeah, that's
and
2FA there,
tattoo.
isn't it? That's 2-factor right there.
And the wedding song, for sure. So he goes, would you like a photo? We agree, and he was just a pleasure to chat to. We have a chat about gigs that I'm going to of his, and it was just a genuinely wholesome experience. Hope you like the story. Keep up the good work. Oh my God. Keep up the good work. Kind regards, Chris. Thank you, Chris. That was a good story.
Very good story,
I did enjoy
Chris.
it. And
I'm glad you've got such a great memory and that you kept it cool in that situation. One thing I do want to just ask though, Chris, is you're world's biggest Frank Turner fan. You got the tattoos. You had the song on at the wedding. Didn't know he was playing in your hometown.
Oh, it's a bit embarrassing.
Just missed that memo, did you?
Just
some fan you are. Get rid of those tattoos.
Dicking about with his placard.
So this is the first time we've had a story sent in.
This
Obviously, we've just set this email up.
Yes, we have.
I absolutely love that segment.
It's something I really want to make. I want to do more of. So yeah, podcast at TPD TV. If you wanted to chat about Oat, it can be a story like Chris, or it can be just anything you want us to talk about, really. Because I really like it.
Yeah,
And
I love that. Big up, Chris and Matthew. Thank you
Yeah,
for reaching
thanks for
out
sending that in.
this week.
And Chris also sent us a picture, so I assume
Oh, is it him and Frank?
it is.
and the-
Yeah,
and the wife?
I'll bob it up. I assume I have permission when he's emailed it in.
Yeah.
I imagine it's not just for my own personal enjoyment. I mean, it could be. Ace, right?
That's cool,
So-
Chris.
God, times are slipping away.
Well, when conversation is as good as
It's
this,
like-
mate.
So I reckon what we got about 15 minutes left.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about your new watch? Or do you want to talk about something else? You got some notes there?
We talked quite a bit about tech.
We have talked a lot about tech. I'll tell you what, mate. I'm going to give you...
I've got something.
Go on.
I very recently, my calculations are correct, and I've triple checked them, attended my 100th festival.
Jesus. Do you know what's interesting, right? In my head, I would have thought you'd have reached that already. But I think...
It's because of the last few years.
The last few years, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, it was only like 2022 when we first went to Boomtown.
Yes.
That was my first year of like
really ramming them in.
Doing a lot.
Yeah.
And I was also doing full 5 days a week in the office as well at that time, which was very, very difficult.
We'll save that, mate.
Yeah, we'll
save
do a full pod on that.
We'll
yeah.
come back to that.
Yeah, 100 fests.
Wow.
Started at Leeds 09.
Yeah.
We went to Leeds 10. That will have been your first.
Yeah.
Now I'm taking a bit of my variables. My parameters here are, I've decided them. You know, it's not that important of a list. So like
Bingley on there.
If I do like, Bingley of course is on there. It's a festival.
Yeah.
Slam Dunk is on there.
Yeah.
If I've been to Slam Dunk North and South, they're both individual festivals I've been to. Not counting things like Party in the Park.
No, yeah.
I just got an email about Slam Dunk. What are the chances of that?
Oh, really?
From C Tickets.
Oh.
Asked me to complete a survey on how my experience was. You don't want me to do that, guys.
Admin.
But yeah, 100 fests. Let's run through some that stand out.
Go on.
I've not thought about this.
Great. So you're fully... I'm nothing without an agenda, mate, so this is all you.
Leeds 09, first one.
Yeah?
Changed my life, I guess, in the...
Well, really set you up for now.
Yeah. Leeds 2014, first video that ever got anyone watching. Leeds Fest Best Camp 2014. Year after.
Wait, I've got a question.
Yeah.
Which was the one where we were throwing stuff and hitting it with a metal stick?
2012.
Cool.
2014 was the one that was marketed by accident as Best Camp. Literally just the file name. And people thought...
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so I just rendered it on Sony Vegas as Leeds Fest Best Camp and then just uploaded it. And it wasn't important what the title was. It probably didn't have a thumbnail. It wasn't for anyone. It was for us. That's why it was shit. And you're not going to believe it, mate, but 2015...
Yeah?
Maybe 8,000 people had watched that video. By the time... Like, 2014, by the time we run around...
Isn't that wild, though?
And a guy called Phil...
DeFranco
recognized me.
Oh, really?
And it's the first time anyone...
What, in 2015 then?
In 2015.
So from a pool of 8,000, one person.
Yep. And that was the first time we ever got recognized. Benicassim 2016, my first festival out of the country.
Yeah.
Went with my ex, my sister and Chris.
What a squad.
And we had a riot.
Yeah.
It was a real experience, that. Benicassim 2022.
I enjoyed that.
No, we didn't.
No?
That was the bad one.
Oh, well, yeah, apart from that.
I mean, we had a great time, but, you know, that was one of the standout ones of
rough
all
morning.
the time. Yeah. Obviously, Coachella, the first one, was a life-changing one for me as well. Download 2016, one of our best, when we were really kind of starting to produce content now for people to watch.
Yeah.
Me, Raz, and another lad went. I'd have to beat around the bush. We all know what we're talking about.
There's always this other lad, and it's just...
And do you know what? We had a brilliant time. We made a hilarious video. I got sunburnt to fuck. And it's just such a shame that that fantastic piece of content is now not as enjoyable as it once was. But yeah, I'm just so thrilled, man. Not to hit 100. Like, it's not like, you know, I barely mentioned it in the 100th festival video, but it's just cool that
It's mental, isn't it, really? If you think about because it's not, I don't know, it's quite interesting because it's not just the festivals themselves, but it's just going to different spaces, countries, areas.
Some stuff, like stuff off the camera as well. Like, you know, I'll never forget standing with my dear friend Nathan Sutton and another mate.
Tent destroyer himself.
Yep, watching, so I'm told, I wasn't
Yeah,
there.
apparently.
Watching Eminem for the first time. You know, we were so excited at Leeds 2013. It was just so incredible.
It's you know, part of the reason why last week I mentioned Leeds was because I can't remember, I'm getting mixed up about going to Leeds is because you do just see people who I won't, you know, barely see for the rest of the year.
Like
I like
Eminem
Nathan's one of them.
and Eminem.
And Eminem. Yeah. The lineup's never been a big thing for me, but
No, I mean, me either. But
the camping, especially for in a certain area.
yes. But yeah, it's
nice.
it's great. I'm thrilled to hit that milestone.
It's very cool, man.
Yeah.
I imagine the next 100 will probably come around a lot quicker.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was. I mean, it was probably the first 80 were
yeah.
very slow burners. It's wild because you know you used to do just leads.
Yeah.
There was years where we just did leads, and it's like I would count down the days, I would count down the months, and it's kind of sad that I've lost that magic now because I'm so.
It's very regimented now, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
and
it's got to be.
But it's like if I could, I'd eat a Wingstop every day, and I'd love it.
Yeah.
But because I don't, I really love it when I have one every other day, and you know it's the same thing. But yeah, here's 200 more.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Which ones do I really want to do? Bonnaroo, DEFCON 1. There's a list, but really proud of the ones we've covered, especially this year. Trying to do all these new ones. Like we've got so many new ones that have come out, and so many new ones that are still to come out. The next 4 are all new. The last 5 are all new.
I think it's. I guess it's not mental. That's probably. I probably won't say that, but it is. It is kind of mental that there's still stuff to go to that isn't maybe too, I don't know, niche or small. But I guess nothing's too small to be fair. But
we're
just really interesting.
We're at the size now where like it kind of can be a bit niche. Like my goal is 100K for every video.
Yeah,
and we've hit that so far this year with a couple of exceptions that kind of have an asterisk next to them because they're like secondary to a main video or
yeah.
You know, we didn't really put any effort in to like the country to country one, for example. But like the headline videos, they're all doing that. So, you know, I look forward to a day, Ben. I mean this seriously, and I know that we've tried to work together before. But something like Vegan Camp Out, have you heard of that?
I have heard of it. Yeah,
Like before, we'd have to be like, we can't go to.
You're not
going to
get the return on that.
We can't go to Outbreak, but now because we're the guys, we can go to essentially whatever we want.
I think,
and as long as I'm hitting that 100K numbers in my head, and not in my head, then that's what
I've looked at that because I was thinking about going. I mean, obviously this year I think it's like now, and if it's not now, it's very soon. But yeah, I did consider going next year.
Off to Beat Herder. The week this comes out, will be at or just been to Beat Herder, which is a festival that people rave about. It's meant to be incredible. It's just outside of Yorkshire, and it's like a mini boomtown, apparently.
Yeah.
And it looks great off the photos. But a few years ago, we couldn't go to Beat Herder because people are searching for festivals. They're not looking at TPD TV, they're looking at festivals. Whereas now they're looking at TPD TV.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because of course you still want to catch the algorithm. Of course you do. But there's less of a reliance now on I've got to get this download video. I mean, obviously there's some reliance on it, but you don't have to be like, I've got to get this. Oh, everyone's doing Beat Herder in these 3 days. I've got to get a vid out now.
Yeah.
It's more like
it's a fantastic place to be because the content's better because of it.
Yeah.
And you know, next year we will do mostly new ones again. And probably only then the year after will we start to recycle some. But then it's been like years since we've done them.
Yeah.
Like things like I really want to go to Rock for People. I love Rock for People. David at Rock for People knows how much I love Rock for People. And we always try and make it work every year, but we just can't. But guess what? Next year or the year after, we definitely can because it's been 4-5 years. 2,000 Trees, we had to miss it this year for Mad Cool. We'll probably miss it again next year, but I can't wait to return.
Yeah, I do like trees.
It's great, man. Life's good.
Life is good. What a positive note to finish on. If you want.
Why not, eh?
Why not?
Why not?
It's been
That's another new one. Why not festival?
Just more and more. Thanks very much
Thank you
for the pod.
I've enjoyed both of these.
I've enjoyed. I don't know why you've said that when we did one last week and one this week.
What
it's a weird turn of phrase.
Is yeah.
Podcast@tpd.tv.
Thanks, Matthew. Thanks, Chris.
Do you know what I found? There's a service I was looking into. I don't know if I want to do it. There's a service like I think it might be Google or something.
Yeah, you search things.
Let me finish. They give you like a free phone number and people can leave like voice notes. I think Spotify do it as well. That you can go on a Spotify link, leave a voice note. But I feel like
that's asking for trouble.
Asking for trouble.
We had remember when we had dialing on the. I mean, we did it really acoustic manual. Like when we had dialing on the live stream when it was a burner, Bluetoothed up to the Roadcaster, and we'd get callers in.
I do remember this.
I think we're just
on a live stream as well.
The only way to do that is if you were to vet them beforehand.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you've got the resource to do that and you want to do it, I think it's a good idea. But I think that's a big ask considering everything you're already doing.
I think let's just get the nets up first.
Yeah, and if we stick with the emails as well, we get to add a bit of flair and interrupt the flow and stuff.
I think emails and we'll see. But no, there's lots of stuff we could do.
Body. The podcast.
The body. God, the view from the afternoon is a mouthful, isn't it?
TVFTA.
Yeah. Don't know. I do like it though. It's just
VFTA.
VFTA.
What up, guys? Welcome to VF. Oh, you can't do a T one.
What's happening? What's the audio version of a forum? Do you reckon? Hey, what's happening?
Oh,
listeners.
I mean, God, what a Ray William Johnson reference before bed.
God, right. Let's bounce. Thanks for listening, guys. Much love. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.